Hey there, this is Rich from Elevate, your #1 online resource for everything related to tech sales. And today's video, I'm going to be giving you a 90-day checklist as to some of the things that you can go ahead and do to increase your chances of not only hitting your quota, but also increasing your chances of being able to exceed quota and make that ultimately big six-figure income that you are gunning for. In addition to that, if you want to get access to this checklist, and we will be continually updating it because we're constantly interviewing other people that are in the industry and asking them what did they do if they could do it over again, what could they do if they do it over again. We are going to be adding additional line items here to make sure that you have that ultimate advantage. So if you want access to this resource, including from my previous video that I just published, which is a salary guide of what you can expect to make in terms of base, on target earnings, your hourly, and all the other things that you should be considering. I have all that, basically your salary guide for tech sales in 2024 in my previous video. Go ahead and check that thing out. And this additional resource here where we have resume templates for you to get your job hunt started on the right foot. We have all of that in our community on School. Everything is free. Joining the community is free. Please go ahead and get access to these resources because we want you to be successful regardless. Having said that, let me walk you through how to navigate this board. And let me talk to you a little bit about why we even created this in the first place. Onboarding, unfortunately, is something that most companies need to do a better job of, and unfortunately, they don't. Nobody really owns this priority, and a lot of these onboarding procedures are just basically medieval. It's dinosauric. It's been around for so long that you might as well be studying it from a history book. And not every sales manager is going to be able to best support you. So you need to have some kind of game plan coming into this job. Now, everybody, once you actually have your second, third, fourth, fifth job, you kind of have like a game plan of like, well, this is what I've done in the past to be successful, so this is what I would do if I did it all over again to be successful here. But unfortunately, for a lot of people transitioning to tech sales for the first time, because this industry is so new to them, they don't really know how to be successful. If you don't have access to our coaches, you don't have access to our mentors, our community, and our training, it's very hard for you to be successful. A lot of people do fail as a result of just breaking into the field without having that proper foundation. So whether you're with us or whether you are considering a role in tech sales, we wanted to put together this guide based upon some of the challenges that you might encounter to make sure you're coming in here ready to hit the ground running, ready to crush it. So on the very left here is a list of tasks. These are a list of things that you should be doing. And we've gathered this task list, and we're going to keep updating this. That's why you want to get access to this Airtable template, because we're going to keep on updating this and making sure that you have just everything that you need to be successful. We have a list of tasks here. We have some links that you can go out there and reference. We have some notes that you can go ahead and refer to, because I don't want to just give you a bunch of information that goes out like the window, or just stays on a notepad or on a Google Doc. I actually want you to be able to recall why doing this is actually important. I have a list of hot tips here if you want to take what I just shown you to the next level, some screenshots that you can refer to, and basically a list of what it is that you can do. These are the statuses. Here is basically the dates. I would say week 0 is week and the month. So the week 0 and your first month is what you should be doing before you start the job. A lot of people stress out about that period because it's like they want to prepare, but they don't know what they should be doing. We have a few items for you to go ahead and take apart. You should definitely do that if you don't want to show up like the first day of work thinking like, oh my gosh, what should I do? Day 1 to 7, that's your first week in your first month. Day 1 to 30, that's going to be your first 2 to 4 weeks there. That's going to be also your first month. And then day 31 to day 60, that's week 5 to week 8. That is typo here, found it. Don't worry about that. That's your second month. Day 61 to day 90, that is 9 to 12 weeks in, and that's your third month. So now that we know how this chart basically works, let's talk on the very top. What's the first thing that you should go ahead and do is join Tech Sales Collective, our school community. Number 1, it's free. But number 2, and I attached a link for you right here, so you really can't get it wrong. You really can't get it wrong. But there's a reason why I'm telling you to go ahead and do this. Not every manager is going to be a good fit for you. but you still have to succeed at that company. What are you going to do if your manager cannot support you? We've all had bad managers. We've all had bad bosses. Unfortunately, there's more bad ones than good ones. But you will need access to a community, mentors, resources that is committed to helping entry-level tech sales reps, whether you decide that you are going to go out there, put your foot down, plant your flag, and succeed on this job, whether you need help finding another job because that environment is so bad for you, or if you require additional support to acclimate to your new tech sales role faster. I mean, you're either going to do that, and I'd much rather have access to a live human being and a group of people that are going through the same struggle that I am, because I remember when I first got into tech sales, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal, right? Otherwise, you're going to be spending all your nights and weekends figuring out what you need to figure out, buying a ton of books on Amazon that you can't read fast enough, okay? Because you come home and it's just like you got to make dinner, maybe you have kids to take care of, maybe you have other things that you have to get to, and then the weekend basically goes by like that, and boom, Monday, you're going to get rocked all over again. We don't want that to happen to you. The clock is ticking. Before you know it, your 90 days go past, you miss your sales quota, and then that's when you don't even know whether or not you're even going to have a job, and you might even end up back on the job hunt, which is something that we don't want to happen to you. So get access to a community so you can go out there and get a handle on things before things get out of control. Okay? Now, the other thing here is a hot tip. We're the only community fully committed to helping first-time tech sales professionals, and I doubt you'll be able to find another community that's going to be able to do that. So you want to do that before the job starts. The second thing that you want to go ahead and do is you want to start actually researching, creating a list of the top 10 competitors for your company. This is, I think, very important because the people that you talk to, they're going to want to know because they're researching your competition, right? So people that you call, people that you email, they're going to be asking you questions. And you need to know your product. And knowing your product, you're going to have product training and you're going to have orientation, but you also need to know what the competition is doing. So here's another hack that we recommend. Subscribe to the competition on all social media platforms, right? Think about it this way, and basically create a little cheat sheet for yourself. And this right here is actually on the wrong tab. I'm going to move that thing down here. But the best way to research your competition, honestly speaking, best way to research your competition is to sign up for their Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, newsletter, TikTok, and any other social media platform you can think of. Your leads and your customers, typo here again, will be researching your competition, and you need to stay up to date if you expect to have meaningful conversations with them about why your company is the better offer. It's like, oh yeah, but like, they came out with this thing last week. It's like, yeah, I know, but we have that too, but we just call it this. You're setting the intention that you're going to be wildly successful at this company, right? So you should have that. Second thing here is create a competitive market analysis cheat sheet. Also, another hot tip is you can go out there and ask your company for one if you have it, but create a list of the competitors and actually have a little cheat sheet for yourself of like, okay, this is like a CRM template of a little comparison chart for what Go High Level does, what the other people do, what do they charge, and then what does Go High Level charge, right? Which is cheaper. It's kind of one of their value propositions. But there's a link here, and showing that level of initiative in the very beginning paints you in a very good light because you also want to start positioning yourself for promotion. You want to gain access to all the necessary tools, resources, and software. Making sure that you're going to get access to CRM, email, Slack, AsherBoss. Like, what else do I need to get access to? Okay, that stuff's pretty standard. Usually people don't fail there, but for whatever reason, every company, people miss out on these things all the time because there's just so many other things that you got to do. So people miss out and people forget. Something else is create a little mini contact directory of your team because you never know when you need to get a handle of somebody. So like start befriending people your first 30 days, okay? And be sure to know your boss's birthday so you can start positioning yourself again for promotion. And from the very beginning, get on their good side. Okay, these things matter. That's actually something that I did very early on was like, hey, when's your birthday? Blah, 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 blah. These are great things. Their phone numbers sometimes, a lot of times people share contact information over email and over Slack, but sometimes you never know when the emergency is going to happen where you're going to have to text somebody. Make sure you have people's phone numbers. Update your LinkedIn according to your company branding guidelines. It's a pretty simple step, but a lot of times people forget that, and companies also forget that too. And onboarding is just one of the things that like most companies, like even the biggest companies that you can imagine, they don't do onboarding like as good as they need to. Something's always missing because everybody's got like better things to do, and they're always busy, or other priorities pull their attention away from doing something like this. Mirror your team's LinkedIn profile if your company doesn't have a standard operating procedure on this. So what if they don't, Rich? Well, take a look at all of your other colleagues, right? How are they having it? How are they having their LinkedIn setup? You should do that. Connect with all of your teammates on LinkedIn. Okay. Schedule one-on-one with your manager. Have that thing have a dedicated time that you're going to talk to your manager every single week on what is that you need to work on. And also ask your manager, if I need to reach out to you outside of those times, can I do that? What's the best way for me to present my challenges to you? Because everybody has a different management style. Some managers have an open door policy, which is good. Some other managers, they're just like, okay, I have a time with you. When I was coming into ranks, we had a lot of people on the team, and I would just try to reach out to this person randomly, like, no, I can't talk to you right now. I can't even deal with you. Back up, I'll go over there. And I had to go out there and be very strategic about my time with that person, because here's the thing. You got to figure out a way to partner with your manager effectively. And this just goes back to why you need a community, why you need mentorship, why you need coaches, why you need additional help. Because this is the thing that nobody talks about. How do I work with my boss when my boss is difficult? I mean, I thought my boss was supposed to make me successful. True, but your boss also has other things going on. Your boss also has a boss. And your boss's boss also has another boss. So these are just some little things that you can go ahead and do to go ahead and turn your career around at a company. Otherwise, you're just going to be running into trouble over and over and over again. Okay, establish clear targets and timelines. To hit quota. How many calls should I be doing a day? How many emails should I be sending out a week? Okay. Make sure that you are actually, while I'm at it, set SMART goals with manager. Okay. What is 100% in your control? I don't know if I'm going to hit my $100,000 a month quota. I don't know if I'm going to hit my 100K quota for the quarter. But if you're telling me I got to do 50 calls a day, I can definitely do 50 calls a day. Establish a game plan for, a success game plan for your first month. Okay. A very vague goal is work on your closing technique versus 6 role play sessions per week. Record, review, and ask feedback every Thursday at 4 p.m. Make sure that your game plan is tight and it's very, very, very clear. If it's clear, it has a number, it has a day, it has a time. That's how you can become successful. Create a work schedule on the job, but also create a work schedule for success on the job. This is actually a little hack. If you know that you have a role-playing session every Tuesday, okay, every Monday you should have on your calendar, I'm going to bring in 7 objections for Tuesday morning. What is your game plan for that? These are the little things that you will notice. Oh, that's why that person is making $300,000 a year. That's why that person is making $400,000 a year, because they're that prepared. The best athletes are just the highest paid athletes are usually the best athletes, and they're just so much more prepared than the other person. Sometimes, though, I think people would want I didn't know I had to do that. If somebody told me to, I totally would. That's the thing. That's why we're going to keep on updating this checklist. That's why you need to get on that community. Okay? Great. Study the relevant reports in the dashboards on the CRM. What are those reports? How do I track calls? How do I do? Learn all the tips and tricks that you need to do on the CRM. And most importantly, download every resource, every app, every software that you need on your phone. This is let me give you a hot tip. This is what HubSpot looks like on a desktop. This is what it looks like on the phone. Sometimes you might need to be on the go. Sometimes you're out there on happy hour. Sometimes you're outside the office, or you don't have access to your computer, or there's a power outage and you forgot to charge your laptop the night before. Okay, make sure that you have those contingencies, because all these little things position you for promotion, because they're like, wow, that person is just so much more serious than the next person, because they're just so much more prepared. I remember, and I added a story on here where we're out, company happy hour, okay? And I remember there was a time when we needed some information at a company happy hour, and one of the interns ended up getting a full-time offer with us. This is way back, I think almost 10 years ago. I know I don't look it, but yeah. And one of the interns, basically, most people did not have the CRM on their phone. And even the people that had it, they didn't really ever access it on their phone. I was guilty of that too. And we needed access. We just wanted to know. They're like, hey, what is the number for this? And we should have known it, but nobody knew the answer. And some of the people that did wasn't even that confident. We all had our CRM, like, for the most part, the people that I respected, they had the CRM on the phone, but even they never accessed it on the phone. This one person's like, this is the answer right here. Boom. That really shined a light. You always want to be prepared. You always want to be prepared, because this is how you're going to make big money. Okay? Your second month and your third month, you should be reviewing your game plan of what you did the month before and establishing a game plan of what you're going to do next. This one I'm kind of leaving blank, and it's just because for the following reasons. Every company is different. The product is different. Industry is different. The target demographic that you sell to is different. Overall, there are some things that are very clear across the line for being successful in tech sales, but you want to go ahead and always just get a list of items of like, hey boss, manager, what do I need to be successful? What do I need to be successful? What do I need? Making sure that you have a dedicated place where you're storing all this information orderly so that you can go out there and use it. And that's why I love Airtable. They're not paying me to say this, but you can go out there and attach screenshots, links. You can go out there and make long notes in this. You can go ahead and basically do everything that you need on here. This is why I like it. You don't have to use it. You can just use this as a reference template. But it's all a productivity game. So making sure that you're prepared, you're just setting yourself up for making big money, getting that promotion. If you want to get access to this along with the other resources that we offer here, please go ahead, join the school community. We will chat more there. If you're ready, go ahead and schedule a call. And if you're not ready yet, just come into the school anyways. We host a lot of weekly community events. I will go ahead and see you in school. My name's Rich with Elevate. If you found any value in this video at all, please go ahead and subscribe. It will really help us a lot. I look forward to speaking with you very, very soon.